chat. We will start with the people here in person. Sperry, take it away.
All right. I know last few games on that road trip were probably pretty frustrating. What's this week been like in terms of kind of recentering yourselves and kind of focusing on this next
Yeah,
ahead?
I think just bringing the energy and that high intensity that I've been bringing the past 3 months, but I think really dialing in on the details this past week. Really excited to be home this week. I think obviously it was it was like a week and a half we were on the road, so that was hard just on our bodies in 3 games in 1 week. But I think just dialing in on this next game we have.
What was that experience like? I mean, I know you guys had to fly commercial most of the way. Like, how long were some of those travels?
Yeah.
What's it like being in the place?
So usually like the next day we would fly out the next morning, and like our flights are like 6:30 a.m. so we're not getting much sleep the next day, and then have a training session that day. So just a ton of travel, obviously going from like the East Coast to the West Coast, time difference, knowing like how to like sleep on the road and stuff. It's just obviously it's a lot, but the trainers here, everyone makes it super easy to adjust to everything. Nutritionist helps with meals, but it's just a lot on your body when all that's going on.
And then,
So do you ever really get to fully recover?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously as much as you can, but getting the sleep, getting the food in, they provide us so much stuff that we can use to get help. We have massages, like the athletic trainers are always offering if they want to get treatment, but like it's just kind of just time with recovering in your body. So I think that's why also a lot of rotations were happening, just to make sure everyone was recovered.
and then you've been playing in the midfield a lot. I know it's not maybe your natural position. What's that been like for you? And how did those conversations start to?
Yeah, I used to play midfield like growing up for club, and then a little bit at college and for the youth national team. So I have some experience there. I love playing the midfield, but the help around with my teammates, my coaches have been super helpful. The back line, playing behind Izzy's been super great. She's talking the whole time, guiding me through the way. So that's been nice.
What's the biggest challenges when you kind of move those type of positions? I mean, I know you've played it before.
Yeah.
If you haven't been recently playing it, there's got to be some challenge.
I think just also knowing the players around you. Obviously, I haven't played with Lo before, so like next to her, so playing and realizing how they play, playing behind Izzy. I never played in front of her before, so that was cool. But I think just getting in all the information and trying to, obviously I just got thrown into the 6 in 1 game and I had no idea, so getting told I was playing there, I just had to like get all the information, remember how to play the 6 again, just like that.
Is there some similarities though between that action and maybe now that you're central on the field, does that change how you think about what you're going to do when you have the ball?
Yeah, I think it honestly playing multiple positions helps with each position. Like now, as a right back, I know what the 6s want or what they don't want, and vice versa. So I know what the right backs want when I'm playing on that side and I'm in the midfield. So I think just being able to gather all the information and really like take it all in, because in the end, like you want to be able to play as much position as you can for like roster spots and just playing in general and knowing the game of soccer.
Kind of going off of your role as a starter, I've got a question here from Jillian. So at just 18 years old, how has your leadership role within the U.S. youth national team system kind of helped you prepare for that task of stepping in?
I think the confidence that those coaches from the national team have put into me, and I played the 6 at U15 CONCACAF, so a few years ago, but making them known, they make it known to me that like they see me playing places, they trust in me, and so giving me the captain armband when they do obviously means a lot, and it's super blessing to have that armband when you're playing for your country, but just the confidence that they give me to play anywhere is what really helps me.
You've been called up, I think, again to the U20s, right? They're training here?
Yes.
It'd be nice not to have to travel.
Yeah, no, for sure. We had a camp here like a few months ago, and we just came to this training facility, trained, and then went back to our hotel, and it was great.
What do you look for when you go to camps like that to learn or maybe establish yourself?
I think I'm more of like a leader there, obviously more than this team, so being more of like a captain on that team, getting to know new players who come in. Obviously, we only have a few camps until the World Cup, so just gathering all the information, trying to capitalize. We have 2 good games against Brazil, and we haven't played them for a little bit, so it'd be good to play against them.
And then we have a question from Tom. Tom, if you want to go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hi, Katie. Congratulations on your call-up. How much does your positional flexibility help you with the U.S. youth national team?
Yeah, kind of like with here, obviously with rostering, they can only bring like 18 to the World Cup. So being able to play multiple positions like right back, left back, in the midfield. I played the forward sometimes for national teams, so being able to play all positions just really helps you being a versatile player, and they can rely on you if someone gets hurt or if you need to move throughout the games. 'Cause obviously you can't sub so much, so being able to play multiple positions is a huge help for sure.
And we have one final question from Jillian. So previewing tomorrow's match, both teams have high quality midfield players. What's the key to winning the midfield battle tomorrow?
I think obviously they're very technical in the midfield, but we're also very technical. We have new players, and then hopefully we have new faces that we haven't seen on the pitch tomorrow, so that'll be good for us as well. But I think winning our battle is play how I always play. We're at home, so that's super exciting for us, and just hopefully the goal is to win. So
Perfect. Great. Thank you, Katie.
thank you.
Right, we are back with head coach Chris Armas. Same thing as before. Please use the raise your hand feature on Zoom or type your questions into the chat. We will start with people here in person, and Sperry, start us off again.
Coach, just wanted to first check in. Just how close is Temwa to coming back, and what's her status look like for the near future and even long term?
She's. I'm happy to say that she's going to be removed off the SEI today and available. So that's great news for her, and it's good news for our team. So we'll look at the workloads of the week and see what does that actually look like on the day in terms of minutes. But yeah, it's good to have her back.
Well, I mean, obviously, two-time MVP, the type of goals that she can score. Like, we know she can change a team, but just how big is it to have that threat of her on the field and back in the mix, especially as you guys kind of search for a way out of the rough stretch last week?
Well, anytime you're trying to win games in this league for any team, it's always much better when you have your best players available and fit and sharp. So I think we know that. We saw a glimpse of this at the end of last year when you missed a few. It was just harder, not impossible, but harder to win games. So as Coop's gotten herself back and Lola Bonta is getting, everyone's getting going here, to have a reference point up the pitch like a Temwa, it helps in so many ways. Tactically, to stretch the defenses, to score goals, the attention that she attracts on the field, and emotionally, when you have a player like that back in, this can be a big lift.
Also, I mean, one of the big things too is her defensive work. It doesn't show up all the time in the stat sheet, but just how that kind of aspect up front, how key is that to have that?
Again, to be a team that is dangerous in transition attacking, to be a team that can counter press and be relentless when we lose the ball, this is important when you have a player that can meet those demands. It helps your style of play come to life. So again, when some of your best players do that defensive work as well, this is also contagious, and it brings big energy into a team, especially when a player like Temwa commits so much like that against the ball and runs for the team the way she does. So it's great to have her back. Yeah.
How nice will it be to actually have this week of training? Like, I'm sure you were not able to get a lot of training in the last week.
No, we didn't get much training in while we were on that road trip as you just typically don't with the 3 games in the week on the short rest. But it's nice we had to take an extra day off because of the travel, the time zone. So we've gotten some good training back in our environment, back in our comfort zone where we can prepare the best we can. So it's great to be home. We're looking forward to get in front of our home fans again and pick up where we left off in this building. So it's good to be home.
Was there anything you learned about your team this last week that now you were able to work on?
Well, there's always stuff to work on, which is our DNA of who we are, getting better at all the things that make us in possession, out of possession. So that's always something to be working on. In terms of learning about my team, It didn't take a road trip, a tough road trip, to understand who they are, which is prideful, no excuses, together, energetic. They love each other, and they don't give in. It was a tough stretch, and honestly, so many little things in some of those games could go either way, and so much didn't go our way. But it was no heads down, and we were not happy, right? We have standards and we want to win, but I'm more impressed than ever with the group of human beings we have in that locker room, which gives me always a lot of confidence to step into the game with them at my side and me at their side. So they have actually shown me a lot, and I've learned a lot about the team.
And then we have a question from Zoom. Tom, if you'd like to go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Coach. You're going against an opponent that wants to possess the ball a lot. How do you limit where they are able to possess the ball in this particular matchup?
Well, it's interesting, Tom, because they can possess the ball for sure, and they'll space the field. They can use their goalkeeper in building their attacks, but they also are a team that can go direct when you don't put pressure on them. That's from the goalkeepers to the center backs. So they're not just an at all costs play through the thirds. At moments, they will stretch you too. So they're not a one-trick pony there. The most important thing is to understand what they can do, and then you try to control spaces. So for us, this is going to be in different parts of the field, how we want to defend, but it's all about trying to control spaces and ultimately force mistakes. This is when we're at our best.
You guys have anything else for Coach?
No, I think we're good.
Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
Thanks,
guys.
everyone.
Thanks.